세러데이 쇼다운 D+ 기아 대 BNK BFX.
Especially with the Jace here to back it up, feels really strong. But a lot of control early, a lot of gold generation there in the mid lane for this TF. And like you said, they needed damage. Jace does answer that question. It's all about controlling these early game fights. The lack of engage seems solved though for BNK because they got both the Ambessa and then the Jarvan lock in. Jarvan is pretty tough to play into Trundle if you don't have that follow-up and you don't blow up the single target instantly, because once you go in, you don't go out and the Trundle will just take your resistance away and they will just kill you so quickly.
Sometimes you just send in Ambessa and Jarvan and you just layer damage and it works. We'll see what happens. So we hop on the Rift for game number 1. That's
also,
crazy.
first time 97 is Beryl is playing against Braum at level 1 as Alistar.
Yeah, nice wraparound from Kellen.
Almost just dies to a flash from Diablo there. He doesn't commit.
But not all that much of it.
It is, yeah. I mean, at least Beryl didn't have to flash or use heal.
Based on the standings, but we might be in trouble anyway, as we got a little Braum engage here. You can see about how well that went. It did not go well.
I mean, he successfully got rid of 2/3 of his own health bar.
Yeah, it went well in a sense, I guess. And now they're just standing right in front of an Alistar trying to burst down aiming, who just flashes away, but the damage not quite there to take out Diablo, who is playing on the knife's edge, but playing it perfectly too. And now it's going to be Beryl who has to flash away himself here. They're going for the re-engage here as we got TF coming down here. Showmaker is going to flash behind the Braum wall, and he is going to do a bunch of damage, but not enough to take out Diablo, as who will be the first blood? It will go over to Raptor, but it is traded back as Showmaker does get a kill himself. As you were saying, she can just ride the wall and come on up and just help out with these grubs, and that just means that DK will give them away. But it is some free time for Showmaker to hit this turret. So we'll see about which soul it is. A couple of really good ones. Actually, we're going to have an engage here as we do have Braum coming up for the gank and a TP as well. Shiu is going to be run down. He's going to dodge that Q. Still has his flash, but I think at this point, especially with the Talia coming up, he's just going to accept his fate. And Vikla is given the kill after that nice play there from Clear. We're going to have a fight here. We have Ghost popped by Beryl. He seems to want to go in. There's the flash engage on aiming as they get it done with the Jarvan, but the damage doesn't get down. Vikla finally takes him out, and the gigantic shove from Vikla gives them so much room in this fight as Lucid and Showmaker have to back away and leave Beryl alone. Only Raptor goes down, and it's a big win.
Too little, and BNK were so ready for that.
Yeah, I mean, Sundered Sky and Raptor. Okay, Beryl's just dead here once again. He is going to flash, actually, so he barely survives, but, like, not exactly providing value, you know? By the way, I said the Rift Herald would be free for BNK. Not the case. They kind of just let it go and went for the Drake instead. And they have the Herald, which they're smartly not even going to use here, as nobody is here to defend, so they just say, well, we can use it on the next turret if we want to, or we can use it mid. Yeah, 3 to 4.
They decide to go for that as aiming is the target.
All right, engage Braum. Let's see how it works out. It's not going to work out at all. TF comes on in. Jarvan, Raptor tries to follow up, but BNK are going way too deep on this fight, and they will be punished for it. As BNK, they just can't deny themselves a fight, and DK say thank you very much. We will take those 2 kills.
Taking a risky one like this is at a heavy cost when now the Rift Herald is going to get charged in. It will be denied actually by this Weaver's Wall.
That was a nice angle there from Vikla, actually.
Really safe deny there, not really any counterplay from D+, so at least this gets shut down over time with the passive. So this is a pretty good game state here for D+. Once again, aiming the target.
Yeah, they're not letting him play the game. Or at least they're trying.
The stacking he will have, especially with this Trundle that's getting bigger and bigger.
That was a very nice pillar. Now we got Exhaust and a TF coming in. He takes a while to die, but 4v1 not going to be very fair.
Beryl and Showmaker just TP mid, and there's a line of vision on their rotation over. I think this is a really safe take here for BNK.
Well, they know now. Do they have the damage is really the question. I think they do, and at this point, you kind of have to commit, as you can't pull off now. Let's see how it goes, and yeah, Lucid not going to be able to get here in time. The damage is there. Very nice call from BNK. They're going to get a bunch of the petals on the map and just back away for really not a big risk. The only thing is that the dragon is coming up here in 10 seconds.
At least they're able to get something out of this. The way Shiu is being on the bottom side, the one, he's just not putting himself in a vulnerable spot. They keep trying to kill him, and he gets away every time, as Lucid may have overextended here.
Yeah, he is in a bit of trouble. He does have to flash away. Bit of a wall comes down on top of it all. The engaged Braum, once again, not really going to hit, but Beryl is all by himself. He's like, hey guys, I heard there's a party. And then he showed up late when the cops were already there. So.
Big mistake from D+. Oh, no way, no way!
Lucid! And the flash over the wall, Vikla!
He dies, the Trundle is flashless, the Senna is flashless, and then Vikla is able to make this play here, reading where he's backing. Blind over the wall, gets the flash kill here, but they're not done yet. They make the play in mid, pushing onto Shiu. No,
he says, I'm fed as well.
That's a shutdown, and Shiu is in no man's land.
And they're forcing it. This is so smart from BNK. They know that DK cannot step up to this turret. Unfortunately, DK did not know that themselves
in these types of plays.
Clear with the interrupt. Yeah, he's going to spot him with the ward, and now Showmaker trying to ult away, and that he will.
And now that that ult is back up, maybe that's the play for D+. Look for the backline here. Shiu also on the flank, big shock blast.
Yeah, only going to hit Kellen, though. And so it might just end up being a flip here if Lucid can get in, and he's right next to it. The wall comes down, though, and Lucid's on the other side, and, well, he gets in range anyway and just smites it. Oasis, thanks for the leash.
As we're looking for potentially a pick here on the Beryl.
Yeah, not exactly the best target, and he's going to knock Raptor straight into the team. He has to flash away, and now the picks are going to be coming out, but Clear shows up. And DK taking this safely, a big cataclysm, but he immediately dies. The follow-up's not there. BNK going very deep into this one. They take out the Alistar finally and force you to flash away. And now the picks continue to come through the gold cards. The center roots, the pillars, as Ingo's clear. He's in the backline by himself, and he gets burst down once again. As DK are playing this so well, just keeping them at arm's distance. And that's going to be the end of that. Vikla, though, pretty tanky. And he is going to push them away. Trying to look for another pick here. A lot of summoners are down, and Diablo is just getting flanked from so many different directions. He's got a Braum in front of him, but it still doesn't matter. Lucid survives, and that'll be the end of BNK's bottom lane as they both bite the dust. We'll see if DK want to start up this Baron here. 5v3. I mean, Raptor's full health and his Jarvan, so it might be a little bit difficult, but still going to look at it.
Clear, trying to find an angle.
Now, looks like they want to try to look for a pick to Showmaker.
No flash for Raptor, but he is Jarvan. They're trying to go in.
Clear is going to get to the backline. He's doing a lot of damage, but he's just one guy. He stops him from doing the Baron, which I feel like is worth, but it's only temporary, as now Vikla's just going to TP away. And DK say, maybe we could just do it now.
I think that was the game-winning fight for D+, to be honest with you, Valdez.
Yeah, not sure what was happening here. Probably just going for some wards and got punished. And yeah, a little zoom in on a Showmaker who did use his ult again. Draft like this and play it out very intelligently. So we got a little wall here. Nice little knock up on a Shiu. And a little TP flank from both, but they're both now out of the fight. The two of them are just not here. They're just not in the fight at all. As the two damage dealers just get eaten alive, and that's going to be the end of Raptor as well. As there's the chunk from the card, and I think DK have done it in a very clean game number 1 victory.
Great start here for D+. I know D+ fans are worried about the pattern where game 1 always looks great, but this was a really strong showcasing of how to play this comp. That was the biggest doubt I had. Will the coordination be good enough? Will the peel be good enough for aiming? And the game-winning fight showcased it. Absolutely, it was. Showmaker going golden as the Nexus falls.
BNK, I feel like there were some moments for them. You know, it's kind of close. Even at like 24 minutes-ish, you could see that the gold was only like a difference of maybe 1K. And that's with a TF on the enemy team. There were opportunities for them, but they couldn't quite hold on. And the second you...
This would be such a barrel move to lock in the support Maokai here. Great into the Rakan. Honestly, I prefer it to Leona. I really do, especially with this draft that has such great follow-up for the ultimates and the zoning that it's going to provide. Maokai into Gwen means that Gwen, for a brief period of time, just doesn't get to play the game. The whole kit revolves around her getting on top of people and getting in melee range, and Maokai shuts that down completely. Not to mention, this is so good into Rakan.
It's another great ball carrier as well. You saw that he was going for Leona or Maokai. It's like, well, this is just an option for me to press flash, click on a target, probably Varus, right? That would be the best target, and then just have Orianna Shockwave on top of me. So it's very easy right? You press your ult, you look for a vulnerable target. I like this pick for Beryl. A lot of pressure on his shoulders. Let's see what it looks like here as we hop on the rift for game 2.
Especially with how strong we've already talked about how this ultimate is in team fights, as aiming's getting some extra damage in here early. That predictability on this one is quite high. She was definitely a knower.
Yeah. I mean, he has the ward in the tri-brush, and he sees Raptor running straight down the lane. So, very well known. He's going to try to go back to the turret. He flashes underneath, and he gets in, but now he's got to tank this wave. Well, Lucid's here. Could try to just clone in. And let's see if he does. The timing is not the best, and he's going to get knocked up, as now in goes Beryl, straight into 3 people, has to run away and heal. Aiming's here, so maybe, but no, they're just gonna back away. They don't really feel confident about that fight after the way it started.
Really reminds me of Taeyoon a lot, to be honest. Remember Taeyoon's super aggressive tendencies? We'll talk about that later. She flashless here.
Gotta dodge the knockup, but he can't quite dodge that. A bunch of needles go in, and Kellen's just gonna easily take that one up. First blood is given over to Clear.
And it looks like at least the first grub goes over, but it might just be a 2 and get out.
Yeah, you remember BNK in game 1 got all 3 of the grubs. And DK, I mean, they certainly want to get at least one, maybe a little engaged as well. Double knockup into the shockwave as the circles are there, but it doesn't matter because Wukong's in there with them. And Raptor's on the run. Aiming is just playing with Diablo up on the top side. Not really a part of this fight, but it's 2 kills for DK plus a little bonus grub. Feeling pretty good about that fight.
Orianna 20 CS ahead as Kellen looks to try to change the story.
Woo! That was a sick sidestep. Oh, man.
But probably not, because nobody dies.
Yeah. Well, Aiming's here. Oh, there's the replay. Okay. Aiming is going to flash away. Oh, the needles are going to miss. And Beryl's here.
Vikla, a bit of a rough one here, now finds himself 800 gold behind. They will get the dragon after that successful gank onto Aiming. Not sure if this is the build I would have chosen for what we're trying to do, as he's in trouble.
Yeah, Vikla does have a Spirit Rush, doesn't want to use it as the root comes down, but the angle! I think he could have hit him there, but just a little bit off.
I'm never confident about Jhin angles, only Kuma knows.
All right, well now Showmaker, this time Kellen says, all right, second time is the charm. You don't have flash, you're just dead, you're not getting away from the quickness. Meanwhile, DK are just sieging bot turret. Shu gonna find a sneaky Gwen in the alcove. Nice dodge there, but will it matter? Oh, he gets the Cinder, little speed boost. He flashes away, and he gets to safety. Lucid, now it's his turn to try to get away from this one. There's the Cyclone. Just try to get away from the Shintao, which he does. Takes a bunch of damage on the backside.
Yeah, Raptor didn't get that audacious charge back in time. Gonna try to look for Shiu here, but Clear is backing. I think he's just free.
Still close. I mean, BNK, they have a lot of objectives. Bit of damage here on a Kellen, as now Kellen going back in with a quickness. Lucid just gonna get McHale's by Beryl, first item.
BNK on this Herald. Top side here, Lucid has his ult back up, but there's just no one else nearby. There's no ult for Aiming, and they're just going to trade it for Showmaker grabbing this turret. But
yeah, I mean, this has to be the idea. Raptor is sticking around in mid, and so is Diablo, though. I feel like you just drop this and run at the Drake.
Yeah, and also,
might just be a straight up 5v5 here. The charm, though, is going to hit on a Showmaker, but he's relatively tanky. In goes Raptor into that backline with the Rakan. They're going so deep to try to get Showmaker. It's not going to work out. The Equalizer is gigantic with the combo of the Orianna and the Wukong, just shutting that down immediately. Clear is doing a number here to see who lives on a sliver of health with the little shield at the end, just barely going to live. And now it looks like DK might have gotten it done. Bit of damage goes in a Beryl, but I don't think he really cares. He's used to it.
Maybe Kellen sets something up. Clear commits the exhaust. His needles aren't ready yet, but maybe with the exhaust, it's enough. Oh, Shiu, that's greedy. That's greedy.
Yeah, I mean, he was going to get the wave, but instead he's like, I want a bit more. He has his flash available. I think maybe that gets him out here. He's going to flash to his team as a bunch more needles go into him, but Aiming and Lucid around the chase. There's the flash on in, the Cyclone as well. Aiming, gonna get collapsed on, but the Wukong just does enough for the zoning, and now Kellen in a bit of trouble. Oh, just gets shot down when the double kill comes through for Aiming.
Speaking of greed, Diablo.
Well, that was, yeah. You said it, and then he did something even more greedy, which was trying to flash over the ult, which he still would have died.
Yeah, I'm not.
Like, yeah, CRE isn't the greatest, and the build isn't the greatest, but still. That's going to be a lockdown. Nice charm here from the side of the Rakan. That's going to get them the 80 carry. Aiming just goes down, even with his cleanse. Now the follow-up here on Elucid, and now they're doing damage. Not, are they? Hey, he gets in, gets the reset as well. As Beryl desperate to try to shut that down, not going to be successful.
Finding a second lease on life here. I was already ready to sign off on the obituary in this one, as D+ will be able to at least trade this for a mid-turret, it looks like here. Lucid's angle here, looking for Diablo, would be huge.
Gonna McHale's, and he gets away from that one. The equalizer is totally wide. Shu just trying to survive. Kellen's gonna go down, but it's a trade for the jungler. As Vikla looking for those picks. The needles are coming out, and B&K, I think they've gotten themselves enough room to at least threaten this dragon. Big ult gonna come down. Trying to block here is clear. Last shot, ooh, it's not gonna hit anyone. That's pretty big. The charm hits. Beryl nearly is gonna go down. We got TPs coming in. You see that DK do not want to give up this objective, but they do not have a jungler.
They don't have a jungler. All B&K need to do is secure the smite and get out. Clear gonna buy the space to do just that.
Yeah, they got the space. They got the charm as well. Shu's just dead. And B&K, they pick up the Infernal Soul here. You see DK desperate for any little crumb on the backside of that fight, but they're not going to get it.
Clear does have TP, Shu does not from the last fight. He's side lane hard.
There you go. That's exactly what you were talking about. They used their combo on a Kellen, but Diablo's in the front line with no flash. He's just going to go down, but so does Lucid, who seems to be the guy that goes down first in every fight. Shu as well in a lot of trouble. They burst him down with that Infernal Soul.
This shows you how desperate they are in this game with Baron up. Vikla going in.
Showmaker trying to flash over. And he gets charmed instead. Vikla, he is playing an excellent game of Ahri tonight himself.
Vikla makes this attempt here. Block here from Showmaker is not necessarily what he wanted. The D+ curse of game 1 to game 2 to lose game 3. Like, what is happening, Valdez? They had such a good position in this one. Barrow going in.
Okay, just gonna try to kill Raptor here. Doesn't have his ult, just kind of dies.
Kellen dying would be big also.
Yep, he's gonna try to flash out of this one. There's the quickness as well. And he gets away because he's Rakan.
Clears angle.
They have no idea. Showmaker in a lot of trouble here. He's not gonna be able to use the disengage cone. He just dies just like that. There's a lot of damage in the members here, but equalizer as well. I mean, they're poking him down. She was tanking the front line, and he goes into his Zhonya's, but very nice flash actually. Gonna get away from the charm. And a chance for DK to win a 4v5. Pushes B&K back away from the objective.
Oh, these charms keep missing. Ult here from aiming. Ooh, Raptor!
Oh, the snipes from aiming are gigantic. Absolutely massive. He's getting health from the jungle. There's a chance. Oh, Raptor, he's gonna. Oh no, he gets burst down by aiming. The one guy who says no curse for me. Aiming wants to go home after a 2-0. It might not happen though, because Clear cleans up 2 of them on the backside as we were watching the left side of the fight. And aiming is still him, but like, I don't know. Looks like they will get this Elder Drake.
I don't think he can stop it.
And as B&K, even with Infernal Soul, you can't approach.
You can't get close enough. They don't have any vision. All they can do is put Clear in the side lane and hope he can get that inner.
I mean, they're gonna be able to. Okay, McHale's comes down as everything in the kitchen sink is being thrown at B&K, just trying to push them away.
Equalizer a bit early there. Doesn't get the value he's looking for, and so they get the inner. But now the Elder's gone. This Baron, Vikla could be the target here.
Charm gonna land. Oh, God.
And the wave is just cleared, so they couldn't get him. They couldn't catch him there with the flourish, and now the wave is gone. And D+ get one more wave.
They're engaging onto aiming. He doesn't have his flash, but he lives. They don't have the damage follow-up. They might have enough here. None of that front line, but it's just the clone. Another arrow is gonna hit aiming, but now Diablo's dead. As he pushed up way too far to try to get that kill. And his aggressiveness is gonna bite him in the butt as down goes Raptor as well. Kellen just desperate to save his team. It's not gonna happen, and D+ Kia, they have finally done it here in game number 2. They have broken the curse, and they will move on to a victory.
Yeah, a little bit of scimitar value there for aiming as he does survive. The last kill will be on to Vikla. And despite the best attempts here from BNK, despite the Infernal Soul, they are not able to close this one out. D+. Some crazy circumstances in this one, some risky plays, definitely playing on the edge. But that last fight does not go BNK's way, and D+ will punish and grab a 2-0. Much needed bounce back after the loss to Breon earlier in the week.
Potentially won this game number 2, and it kind of has
a bit of a quiet comms there.
Yeah, not a whole lot else said. Aiming did more damage than Diablo.
So many of those curtain calls just going exactly the right way. Like when he got all those picks right before Elder, I was like, I mean, the stars aligned for this guy. And he aimed incredibly well. He predicted Kellen's dash, was able to get the punish there. I can't say really a bad thing about aiming across this series. Yeah, he did get caught that one time on that early fight in game 1, but that was a team decision. Otherwise, just crystal clear gameplay. And Showmaker will pick up the POM. I think in part, mostly in part to that TF game.
Yeah, I mean, the TF was great. I think his Orianna was good too.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Dear for the POM interview translation, joined by Showmaker on the side of D+ Kia.
쇼메이커 선수 BNK POX가 여태까지
Showmaker,
승률을 보이고 있었는데요. 오늘
You know that BNK FURX had a 100% win rate for Saturday showdowns until today, and you broke it. So how do you feel? I actually noticed how bad our win rate was for Saturday showdowns were, so I was a little concerned at first, but I'm glad that we're able to win today. And last match was a heartbreaking loss, so it must have left a lot to be desired. What did you guys talk about as a team? And whenever we lose, I think we always tend to lose our advantages. So I think we really try to refine and make sure that we are able to take the most, get the most out of our advantage when we are ahead. And game 1 was a victory through macro plays led by your Twisted Fate. You must be happy that TF meta is back. How do you feel? You know, most recently TF was actually nerfed, and I didn't think that TF was a meta pick, so not much thought lately about him. You know, it's always key to hit your gold card as a Twisted Fate. So how are you so consistent? Is there any secret to pulling gold cards? You know, it's actually iffy. Sometimes you have to just double tap W, just have to instantly get the gold card. But as long as you're focused and when you are super concentrated, it is possible. And in game 2, you had a great Orianna game, a great early objective control as your Orianna scaled. And honestly, it really stood out how you utilized your power spike in the laning phase during objective timers. Yeah, Orianna and laning phase and really playing around the objective timers is actually a high difficulty, high skill play when it comes to just playing Orianna in general, but I think we're able to pull off our win through objective and macro plays just based on what we had practiced in the past. And your newly joined coach, CV Max, said that you guys are practicing and trying new things. And he's very involved in games. So what has changed since Coach CV Max joined? You know, as a lot of people know, he's a very passionate person. So we're actually all consistently trying to focus on improving one step at a time. D+ Kia has to defend the throne of Rise group. So what is your mindset moving forward? You know, it's all cumulative, starting from round 1 and 2 as well. So I think we're actually in a good spot, starting out in round 3. I think over time, we hope to get more experience to be able to do a good job and be strong in best of 5s. It's been a while, but you recently celebrated your birthday, so congratulations again. And you might have already seen there was a fan that said that she's quitting her job if DK wins today. And that's just how supportive the DK fans are. So any word for your fans? Yeah, I'm always grateful that you guys are always supportive. And whenever we tend to falter, we are able to pick ourselves back up thanks to all of our fans. And I hope you get a lot of unemployment and enjoy your break from work. Thank you. And that's the end of the interview with Showmaker, and back to the space. Thank you.